Sony picture up again without Sean Layden putting a hit out on us. All right, we are back. I think we're back. Can you guys hear us now? And this is one of the reasons that I like Twitch over YouTube. If this were YouTube, we'd have to give out a whole new URL and everybody would have to come join. Yep. Whereas here, hopefully everybody is back and we just pick up where we left off. So, where the hell did we leave off? Oh yeah, E3.
E2 show.
Right. So, the other piece to this is E3 itself just becoming less relevant because it's no longer the big media show that you had to wait for in order to get your information from. Everything is in such real time, and look, it's not just Nintendo. Nintendo decides whether or not they even Nintendo doesn't do live stuff. They have a little bit of a show booth, but they, other than that, Microsoft wasn't on the floor this year, and now Microsoft is taking advantage of it. They've been tweeting out "See you at E3," but I mean, really, it's not going to be the same show, and I'm still 2 years out of my 5-year prediction. And I'm still sticking to it. That I think this is where E3 begins the downward spiral into complete irrelevance. And I just think Sony knows it. I don't think this has anything to do with Sony doesn't need E3. Blah 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 blah. They're this big. They're so big that they. No. It's that the writing's on the wall for this show, and this just is the other. This is the first shoe to drop. I said this last year too. I said one of the big three is gonna bail out of this show completely, and voila. So, thoughts?
I'll let Peter go first.
Sure. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but the other hand is I mean, what else is Sony gonna show again? More Death Stranding. Same footage. So they might as well, not show anything and let it marinate, and then when time to show anything, maybe more final versions of the game right before release with a PS5, then they come out blazing. I don't know.
And they can do this stuff whenever they want.
Right.
Just because PSX used to be in December doesn't mean that's where it has to land every year.
Right.
So
I don't know. I think that it's not them pulling out of E3 is a bad thing, because I truly believed you and Tony's predictions back when you guys made it, because I used to watch the show back then.
Which we appreciate.
And the thing is this sucks. This is my first year at E3 to go. I was supposed to go last year, but I gave up my seat for someone else, and I'm going this year, and I'm sitting there well, damn it. Sony had to pull out. I was sitting there going, maybe I could skip the EA conference, maybe, or something like that, but nope, the Sony conference. So that kind of sucked, but I think the problem and the reason why Sony got flack for this is, well, A, social media hubbub and jumping to conclusions is the worst thing. And 2, they haven't been crystal clear with their messaging in this. And this is the same flack I gave Microsoft back a few years ago. You've got to, if you leave things up to people's imaginations, the conclusions they jump to are your own fault. And waiting so late to announce that they weren't having PSX and then announcing so early that they're canceling E3, or they're pulling out of E3, sorry. It's not good messaging. And the big thing, too, is their lack of consistency. And the thing is when Sean Layden said they weren't doing PSX, he was quoted saying, we don't have a lot of... he didn't directly say we don't have a lot of show, but he did the walk-around statement of saying, we don't want to show you the same things we showed you at E3, basically.
Right.
And that's why we're not having PSX, which is fine. I always looked at PSX as more of a fan event than an announcement event, but it's Sony's buck. If they don't want to spend it there, that's their business. That makes sense. And he said, we'll have tons of stuff for the future, and we're looking at new and intuitive ways to get involved with our fan base. And we look forward to sharing more with you. That's awesome. Because in the social media era, there's so many different ways you can interact with your fan base. And then they pull out of E3. The only thing Sony has shown us since pulling between them canceling out of 2 shows is the Medieval Remake trailer. That's it. Mm-hmm. There's been no clarity, any interaction, nothing. And when they pulled out of E3, they didn't release a statement. They didn't release a Sony blog post. They told Game Informer and Kotaku we're not showing up to E3.
Right.
Because we're looking for new and more intuitive ways to interact with our audience. And we'll let you know more soon. So you pull out 2 different conferences in a 3-month break and use the same PR talk. And then when you pull out of E3, which, while I do agree that E3 is changing, you should do your own post about it. You shouldn't leave it up to third-party media outlets to cover it for you. And I think that's where a lot of people are confused, because there's half of the people are like, well, they don't have anything to show before PS5, so that's why they're not at E3. And other people are like, well, they want to unveil PS5, so they've got to do their own event. And there's too much left to speculation, and the fact that Sean Layden and no one from Sony has come out to clarify what's going on yet is just bad PR and marketing to me. Well, that's just all there is to it to me. Like, I do care they pulled out of E3, but if they'd come out and said, we're pulling out of E3 because financially it doesn't make sense anymore, because we can show you guys through blog posts and everything else these games and just do the same level of interaction without spending the money, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Let's move forward. But they didn't say that.
Well, you got to remember, too, that there is a level of they don't have to.
Yeah, I realize that. I realize that, too, but it's so weird for me because you think about how good Sony's PR has been this generation versus Microsoft's has been so bad.
No doubt.
And now we're kind of in a different place where we've got 4 games that Sony's showing at E3 that we don't have release windows for, and we don't have events that they're going to show release windows for. You could argue the Video Game Awards, that we might get some release dates.
True.
But The Last of Us doesn't have a release window. Nothing they showed at E3 has a release year, nonetheless a date. Leaving that kind of stuff up in the air, especially with PS5 rumors floating around, and you've got 4 games that sold people on PS4 still floating in the pipeline, you gotta give some clarity to your fan base. Do they have to do that? No. Should they do that? Absolutely.
Do they need to with the thought of, because you got to remember that their other master stroke this generation has been their marketing deals and their games that they've been able to pick out, like Spider-Man. I mean, people don't understand how strong having that exclusive IP is, and how much it has sold for Sony. And that'll be the last thing we talk about before we roll out real quick, because I know, unfortunately with this with our break, I don't want to keep you guys up to where you're falling asleep in a chair. So you know, Sony's got a great third party relationship with a lot of developers that can pull these things for them on a whim. You know, for better or for worse, like I said, Spider-Man's the big one to look at. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And at the end of the day, Sony delivered enough games in 2018. I feel like in 2019 they still have games like Dreams has to come out next year. Days Gone set to release next year. Yeah. There's stuff down the pipeline. Concrete Genie's supposed to come out next year. There's stuff down the pipeline. It's just, it'd be cool to see more. And like, we're gonna see another damn Kojima trailer at the Video Game Awards.
Yep.
Of a baby fist bumping another baby between two people's open mouths. I'm so no, that's a whole different discussion. But Kojimbles.
Oh my goodness.
Regardless of the fact.
Yeah. But I still think that this is more to me. It's still more about E3 than it is about Sony. I think that, yeah, they don't want to set expectations high and things like that. And I think a lot of it, too, is if they know that they don't have a ton to show that's not really, really far off, E3 is expensive. I mean, think about the cost to set up an E3. And that's,
especially the way they did it last year.
Yeah.
And I think last year's fan feedback played into a lot of them pulling out of E3 this year. They thought they were being really clever with that E3 conference, and then they realized that people at home really didn't care.
No. Those cuts back to Sean Layden and the guys outside, and you're like, just no, stop.
It was a great idea for those that were there. Like, I understand, like, I had a few friends and colleagues that were in, like, the church for the first part, and then, like, the theater change. And they said it was a really interesting experience. But when you're sitting at home and they're like, and the pacing was terrible, too, because they'd show you, like, this is The Last of Us Part 2. And you're like, oh my God, they start off with that. What's next? Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is coming to PS Plus.
Yeah. Right.
Who cares? Yeah. it would. You were just like, my biggest problem with their conference is like Microsoft had a steady pacing for theirs, where it was like I was mid-level excited through the whole thing, and Sony had me in like super high, and then why am I watching this?
Yeah.
And that was my biggest problem with it, because like the games they showed off were amazing.
Well, we had some crazy moments too, like when Phil announced all the acquisitions, and we're going, oh my God. We were going, yeah, all right, we knew about Playground Games. Come on. And they said Ninja Theory. And we went, what? So I mean, there were some of those moments too. And I will give another shameless promotion for us both, Nick. We did our joint Inner Circle Next Level Gaming E3 Xbox press conference live react. If you want to know what a live react show really can be, go check that out on our YouTube page. Because unlike other live react shows where you just kind of you're watching it on TV and then people are talking in the background, we have it up on the screen here where you can watch the show with us in real time while we're watching it through the magic of Elgato, and be here in the chat and be here. And in that particular one, because we did it here on Twitch and you guys did it on the Inner Circle YouTube channel, on the left-hand side, man, we had both chat rooms going. Like, people could chat with each other across platform. It was great. We were cross-play before anybody else.
I just remember that because it was me and Jared. We were the key news team covering the Xbox conference, and we were in a Google Hangout coordinating who was covering what, and Ninja Theory gets announced. And we're just sitting there going, whoa. And I get a text from Cal probably about 15 seconds afterwards, and he goes, "You better be writing that."
Oh, that's funny.
Man.
So,
but and see the thing is, and the saddest thing about PlayStation pulling out E3, it's not because I'm going this year and it's going to be one of the big three is not going to be there, is that E3 for me for years has been Christmas. It's like you get to see all these different games and all these.
I know.
And it sucks, and it really sucks that they had to start letting the public in. I think that's when I realized that prediction was worth it, because people like the argument on social media of, well, E3's numbers are still good. I'm like,
I know.
No, they're not.
I know.
But
I know
I'm preaching to the choir on this one, but
yep. It's I'm totally with you. So
it sucks that it sucks, but I know from talking with Lord Cognito that PAX East specifically, I don't know about the other ones, but PAX East is actually if you want to go and actually play the games and get hands-on and talk with developers, the PAX events are actually really great places to do that.
So that is something offline. That is a desire. I know, Peter and I, we just drive up to Boston. I'm game. So.
I plan on. I'm probably. Yeah, I'll see how things land. Boston's only a 6-hour drive for me, so.
Yeah, for me. It's 7.5. So. Probably add an hour to Peter.
Yeah.
But it'll be worth it. My goal is to do a live show from PAX. That's my goal. So anyway, so that's what's going on, and unfortunately, again, I think if not next year, I think next year will be really the last of the E3. I think Microsoft's going to get their they'll get their moment in the sun, and then realize, you know what, we could have gotten our moment in the sun without paying all this money for it. So, and they're gonna roll, and then
maybe they get a big discount this year.
Yeah,
2019.
Yes, the ESA gives them the please don't leave discount. So.
Yeah,
we'll give you V-Bucks for Fortnite. Please come back.
So,
I'm talking about Fortnite. So I was at a Microsoft store today, right? And then all the Xboxes that they had on display, guess what game I was playing? And people were playing Fortnite.
No.
At that point, I turned around and went to the Lego store.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to our last bit here, because I don't want to hold you up, and this won't take long. And by you guys, I mean Peter. I know it's getting on that witching hour. We don't have Chris's Mustang clocks to remind us, but I really don't want to go midnight if we don't have to. So, last thing I wanted to bring up was October's NPD for games. As everyone knows, I don't give a rat's behind about console sales, but I do like to talk about the games, and this is interesting because we discussed a couple weeks ago before our break whether or not Red Dead Redemption 2 would overthrow Black Ops 4, and the answer is no. Damn it, gaming community.
Remember the most boycotted game of all times? Black Ops 4?
Yeah.
No campaign, no game.
I've still managed to resist the urge of all the Black Friday deals. I'm still sticking to my guns. I'll hold out till Boxing Day.
Yeah, I'm just not interested at all.
I used to play just the multiplayer religiously. Like I enjoyed the Modern Warfare campaigns; they were my favorite. But I guess I don't have the twitchy reflexes anymore, and it just frustrates me that I'm not as good as I used to be because I'm terrible now.
No.
That's not the game's fault. I'm sure the game mechanics are great. I'm just terrible at it. So,
Still great at playing it with friends, though.
oh yeah, they're playing like domination and stuff with friends. There's not too much more fun than that.
Yeah.
Well, I still just no interest. Like Fallout 76, no interest. That's a whole different. Next week's show, we can talk about Fallout 76, Battlefield, and stuff like that.
There will be no Fallout slander in this Fallout season.
We're specifically, if Anchor, if you're listening, you are officially invited to next week's show.
He'll rip on it just as much as I've been ripping on it. It's bad. It's just as bad as everyone says.
Yeah, we'll cover that. We'll cover that bridge next week. But
Chris will have played it by then.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He'll be the one guy on the stat because it should have been in Game Pass, but that's a whole other. All right, let's focus, Mike. Focus.
There's still a week left, so who knows?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So Black Ops 4 is the #1 game of October, and apparently it is already the best-selling game of 2018. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not. So, congratulations, gamers. This is what we've been reduced to. Call of Duty is once again without a campaign is the best. Yeah. So,
You think it's? Will we ever see a Call of Duty campaign, or is this it?
I don't know, because if any game should have had it, it would have been Black Ops. I don't know.
No.
I'm sitting there going, what's the Call of Duty campaign I want to see come back? I'm like, well, they wrapped up Modern Warfare. Black Ops 2 was the last good Treyarch campaign. Sledgehammer's never done a good campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I can't say they never have. I never played World War II. So.
Yeah. Well, I know Peter did.
Yeah, World War II was great. Loved it.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I might pick that up. What was the campaign worth it?
I think so.
Okay, I saw it for $20 for a Black Friday deal, so maybe I'll snag that for the campaign.
Yeah.
Even the multiplayer is good too.
All right, so
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And so second up is Red Dead. Now, Red Dead hasn't been out as long, and
True.
let's also keep in mind that Black Ops 4 also released on PC. Red Dead Redemption 2 did not, much to Lyos's rage in the chat room from earlier in part 1 of our show. And it still did really well. It just didn't do as well as Black Ops 4. So, coming in number 3, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Another solid game that Peter likes.
Great Assassin's Creed game.
As soon as I finish Origins, that'll be my next one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
NBA 2K19 still holding strong. Super Mario Party, number 5. You know, you're gonna see this trend pretty much until the end of time. Then when Smash Brothers comes out, well, all hell's gonna break loose. Soul Calibur 6 coming in at number 6. Nice to see that one. I need to pick that up at some point. I actually wanted to play some Soul Calibur the other day on the Dreamcast. FIFA 19 still hanging in strong. Spider-Man coming in at number 8. So still hanging in the top 10 after a great month at number 1. Madden still holding strong at number 9, and WWE 2K19 rounding out the top 10. Which makes you wonder if there's something about that game we're all missing, because it's just more of the same. So
It'll be in Game Pass eventually. When 20 comes out. So. Yeah.
But hey, it's a great pickup by 2K to grab that. So rounding out the top 20, Forza Horizon 4 standing strong in number 11. Good on them.
Even though it's a Game Pass game.
Even though it's a Game Pass game. Phil said this, that he was surprised. I mean, remember, he said he was surprised at the fact that Game Pass games sell games.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Lego DC Supervillains at number 12. My Heroes what? My Hero what? I've never heard of this game before. Anybody
My Hero One's Justice.
Yeah,
it's an anime adaptation game. It's like I don't even know. I have one friend that was excited for it. I guess he bought however many copies he needed to get to make it number 13.
I've never heard of it. It's out. Apparently, it's PC, PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. It's
actually on Xbox?
That's what. Well, hold on. Well, that's what. Wait. Let me just make sure. That's what it says on. That's what my Bing search says. No, there's a box for it. You can buy it on. Yep, it's out on. It's out on Xbox One. You can buy it from Amazon. Okay. Looks like an arena fighting game is what it looks like.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you can buy it from the Microsoft Store. So unless you can buy the PS4 version from the Microsoft Store.
Yeah.
Popular manga and anime series clashes head-to-head and quirk-to-quirk in a 3D arena fighter. Okay. All right. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is kicking up 14. So still hanging strong, which unfortunately I know Sam had to roll out, but my hopes of that getting into Game Pass are getting dashed every month by good sales. So, I've been waiting for Sam to go, don't worry, Mike, December. And I'll be like, because everything, all right, so number 15 is Mario Kart 8. Number 16 is the game that just will not die, Grand Theft Auto 5.
For a second, I thought that game disappeared from this top 20.
But there it is. I think so. Yeah, there it is. Super Mario Odyssey at 17, making its comeback thanks to the Switch. Diablo 3. I guess there was a market for it on the Switch.
Well, they did do that really dope custom bundle, and I'm wishing I wasn't broke.
It would be the one that I would do, that I would get, because I do like Diablo. So now the Eternal Collection is what came out on the Switch. I'm assuming they're counting this as the same SKU. So
yes, yeah, Diablo with all the different expansion SKUs just count as a quote unquote Diablo 3 SKU.
Gotcha. This would be awesome to play up on the rooftop with your millennial friends.
Yeah.
Hey, who wants to play an old school dungeon crawler?
Yeah. I do. Right after I make my triple latte. All right. So
that was terrible. Don't do that.
Buffy, where are my slippers? All right. Number 19, hanging in there, is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm telling you, you're going to see Zelda, Mario Kart, and Mario Party as kind of your mainstays, and Odyssey. You're going to see basically the big four from Nintendo hanging in these NPDs until Smash Brothers and Metroid come out. You know what you're not seeing in there, which is surprising? Splatoon. Splatoon 2? Not... No.
And I know Sam will correct me if I'm wrong when he watches back the rest. But if I remember correctly, Splatoon has a larger buying audience in Japan than it does in the States.
I don't doubt that.
And that's why you don't see it on NPD as often, because it's a top seller in the Japanese market, but not as big of a seller in the United States market.
I haven't heard much about it lately.
I think when Nintendo did their financials, if I remember correctly, they celebrated, I can't remember how many sales it was. I think they're like upwards of like 5 or 6 million sales on Splatoon 2 now.
Huh.
got a really good attach rate for it, and the online community is great, and they do those splat fests where you fight for your favorite thing, and they seem to have a solid hardcore audience anyway.
All right. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, just not here.
Yeah,
Just not here.
I'm still pissed about Splatoon winning Shooter of the Year.
Yeah, that was
Could have been worse though.
Yeah. Oh, we haven't even. Yeah, that's all. Man, the video game awards are a whole topic for another day. So, so, okay, and then last but not least, hanging in there at number 20 is NHL 19. So there's some hockey fans. I guess those are all Canadian sales because NPD is North America.
Don't look at me. I haven't bought an NHL game since 1999. I think it was 2002. NHL 2002 was the last one I bought.
Huh.
I think for me it was like 99 as well. PC version.
Yep. I played all my NHL games on PC originally.
Yeah. All right. So that's the NPD numbers. Again, you want to go talk about how great your console of choice has sold, take that shit to Twitter. So
I just have
they
more
all
of an
sold
intro.
well.
My favorite list is the retro, the ones Matt Piscatello does. It's the old games sales that get new sales or whatever. And I think the winner this month was a My Little Pony game for Game Boy Advance, sold like 6 copies and took the NPD top spot for retro games. And I think Superman 64 won a couple of years ago too.
Nice.
Or a couple of months ago, where it sold like 2 new copies or something.
Right. One of them was to Top Hat Gaming Man. I don't know if you guys ever watch him. He's excellent. He's a British guy that does retro stuff. Unfortunately, he's winding down and not doing what he used to do. But I used to love his stuff, and he used to buy these old things. Nothing though. Superman 64. Nothing was like watching Angry Video Game Nerd do that game. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, the next time we get a big announcement on, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Orange Box sell next in November, thanks to the the backward compatibility piece. So.
Well, I just remember being floored the one time NPD came out after Black Ops 2 came to backwards. It was like second or third game.
It was like the third game on the list.
Sitting there going, I'm ashamed of people, and I bought a copy, so I'm part of the problem. And
all right, we have come, I think, to the end of our 2-part show.
Yeah.
So, hey, I want to thank everyone.
Little intermission in between.
Yes, this is our short intermission with the smooth jazz that Laios Van Uyen was playing for us. I want to thank our stalwart folks in the chat for hanging. Yes, with the intermission. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Like I said, I know we're missing a few of our regulars tonight because of Thanksgiving weekend, but it was really important to get back on the air. I really needed it. So I thank you guys, both of you, for helping me get things rolling here again. Chris will be back, of course, next week, and will be plenty to talk about throughout the holiday season. But Nick, thanks for jumping in tonight, man. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate what you guys, what you're doing over at TIC, and we appreciate the affiliate program.
Hey, I'm just glad to be able to be more hands-on with everything now.
So, well, and that's we're gonna help help each other as best we can. We always have enjoyed what TIC brings to the table. Doing that joint E3 show was an excellent thing, and I've told Kal-El that we want to do more, and And so, you guys are always welcome to the table here at NLG. And yeah, so
well, the only question I've got for you is I miss a lot of Tick Podcast episodes, unfortunately. But have you been on Tick Podcast before?
So I've been on Multiverse.
Yeah.
I've been on 2X, believe it or not. I have not been on the actual podcast. I've not been on the Saturday night show.
We will be rectifying that soon enough, and
right.
we will get some of your guys on there as well.
Yeah, Peter needs to make some rounds.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no. Well, it's tough. Saturday
It's
nights.
Yeah.
Saturday nights are tough, but I know I can definitely pull one aside, and Chris, but Peter would be he would be great if you could wrangle him for one, because
you guys are each and every one of you guys is always welcome. That is the key part. If you do not want to, and that is perfectly understandable.
Yeah, it's more timing.
It's
than
more
anything
time
else.
than that. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. When I've been on Tick Podcast a handful of times, and it's like, all right, I'll send the link at 10:30. That's 10:30 Cal time, so it's more closer to 11. And then by the time you're done, it's like 12:30, and like I'm up that late anyways. But still, it's a tough time.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else before we run? All right. Cool. And again, want to thank our chat room, and welcome to Laos Van Heeren. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you'll be back. We're on every Friday night at 9:30. Hope you'll be back to chat with us again. I know Dirty J was on a little earlier. I think he had to run, and I know Sam, who also Direwolf, who's also part of the Inner Circle, one of the best writers out there right now. The two of you guys, you and Sam, make just a dynamite team, and Sam knows how much I respect his work. And we'll be back next Friday night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Try not to crash the system.
Yeah.
So
we'll do an X split.
Yeah, we'll split it in two.
Yeah.
So, all right, everybody have a great week and enjoy the rest of your hopefully extended weekend. And play on, gamers.
Game on.
Mm-hmm.